Jim Division presents Red Center Rumble.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a episode of Red Center Rumble TREMORS, where we are going to be talking about the upcoming pay-per-view Royal Rumble.
Yes, brand new year of WWE.
Yes.
I feel like Royal Rumble is my favourite pay-per-view.
Yep.
Even ahead of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just a fun pay-per-view, like anything can happen. We'll dive into our top 5 surprise entrants. So, number 5 is Foley.
So this is 3 entrants.
Yes, 3 entrants in one.
And they had the whole thing where Mick Foley was doing... He has like 3 characters. So he's got obviously Mankind, which I think was his most over character in WWE. So Mankind was like the most popular character, and he had Mr. Socko and that kind of thing. And then he had Cactus Jack, which was the character he was in WCW, and then which he took to ECW, and I guess in ECW he was really just crazy. At WCW too, like he lost his ear in a WCW match in Germany. And then he had this weird third character, which was Dude Love. And Dude Love, I guess, was Mick Foley's version of like a Shawn Michaels kind of heartthrob style wrestler. And this is the character that he had when he was like backyard wrestling. So there's like VHS footage of him like jumping off a roof as Dude Love. So in this Rumble, basically, I can't remember who came out first, but whoever came out first got eliminated, and then, you know, a few more entrants come in, and then all of a sudden we get this other version of Foley coming in. That one gets eliminated, and then we get the third version of Foley coming in. So, yeah, we had 3 Foleys in one match. It was pretty crazy. There was a really good VHS called The 3 Faces of Foley. Mm-hmm. It was hosted by the Hardy Boys with Mick Foley, and it just talked about the different phases of things. Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to our number 4 spot, Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, 2002.
2002.
And I guess the reason I put this one in there, because it was a surprise, I was like, wow. And I wasn't super, like, because I didn't watch so much wrestling in the 80s, like I wasn't super aware of Mr. Perfect and his legacy and that kind of stuff. Though there is that amazing promo video with the football. Have you ever seen that, where he's throwing the football? It's very funny. It's very funny. But yeah, when he came out, it was a real shock. And that he looked basically, because I had thought at that point he was retired and stuff. But yeah, he looked like he could go, and he was really good in the ring.
So number 3, we put, and we've only probably put it 3 because we haven't actually watched it, but it's AJ Styles debuting in WWE and entering the Royal Rumble. Most memorable thing I think of this is the botch camera job.
What do they do? No.
So,
I haven't even seen the footage.
Oh, you've never seen the footage?
No.
So the countdown happened, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like this thing, you know, the I Am Phenomenal video thing, but it comes up with the I Am first, and it's like blue music is kind of not really identifiable. And when Phenomenal pops up on the screen, the camera's not facing the entrance. They instead zero in on Roman Reigns' face.
Okay.
And it's all you have is Roman Reigns like looking confused at the stage.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone else is like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And then you hear the crowd starting to pop. At the time, that would have been massive. You knew he was coming out, and yet you focus on Roman Reigns' face.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it was WWE arrogance, because you know how they've always been like, nobody knows who anybody is outside of WWE. And I feel like this was probably a turning point, because someone like AJ Styles, like, so obviously he was in TNA, where he was like a pretty massive name, pretty much the biggest, I guess, homegrown talent that came out of TNA. And then he went on to have a pretty amazing run in New Japan, where he had an epic match with Shinsuke Nakamura. Yep. Not the ball kicking match that happened at WrestleMania a few years after, but the far superior one. So, normally you would see him go in through NXT or something, right? At the time, that's what was happening with talents from, like, say, you know, like Asuka, when she came in from, I want to say probably Stardom or whatever she was wrestling in over there. She came in through NXT. So anybody that was sort of WWE was coming in from a different, was coming in through the NXT pathway. So it was pretty big to have him come in, debut at the Rumble, that kind of thing. So yeah.
I think he went from strength to strength basically after that. Yeah.
Do you know what song that they originally had planned for him?
No. What?
They had Bobby Roode's song.
Oh, that glorious one. Really?
Yeah. So apparently that was one of the opportunities they put to him, but he ended up going with the other one instead.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Which probably makes sense. I think
Yeah.
the one, like, it's very southern kind of hip hop.
Yeah.
Which suits AJ.
Yeah. So we put at number 2 is Edge's return at 2020 Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I think it was. This was 9 years after he had retired.
Yeah. Now, was there any inkling?
I
Did
don't
we have
think
a
there
think
was.
that he was coming back?
No, I don't think
Okay.
anyone expected it.
Okay.
And I think this was a knock-on effect of like Daniel Bryan returning
Yes.
after his neck injury.
Yep.
Then maybe open the door for Edge to explore, or
Yeah.
Adam Copeland to
Yeah.
explore whether or not to come back.
I feel also a certain existence of a competitive wrestling league
Yes.
was kind of paving the pathway for certain people to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I feel like it was WWE. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a medical expert in that kind of stuff, but I think like Edge got sort of secondary kind of opinion, I guess, on the state of his neck and what that meant for wrestling and that kind of thing. And then WWE were able to clear him to come back. But I also feel like it was there were talks underway that because he had that relationship with FTR, that he might end up going to AEW, which eventually we know that he did. So yeah, I feel like that kind of paved the way too for allowing him to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, look, I love Cope in AEW, but I think it was good that he had his comeback in WWE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
just from the crowd popping.
botched camera shot here too, right?
Was that?
Didn't they miss the spear?
Yes, they did. And wasn't that the spear that took out AJ Styles for injury for AJ?
So AJ and cameras.
Yeah. So he tried to oversell, I guess, the spear. Yeah, he dislocated his shoulder or something.
Okay.
And we could tell, because I remember we were watching this together. Yeah, this was the big one where Brock Lesnar was... he
eliminated like everybody,
like 16
right?
people at the start. Yeah.
God.
Then AJ dislocated his shoulder and we could tell something was wrong. He had to get out. So anyways, this one I really remember because of, you could tell the look on Edge's face when he come out, like it was very emotional and overwhelming for him that he was able to come back. The crowd was all in shock and couldn't believe what they were witnessing.
Lucky there was a crowd, because this
Yes.
was just pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Pre-Thunder Dome era.
Yes. Yeah. He was lucky that he had his big return back.
Because I think his singles match, which came at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the WrestleMania match against Randy Orton, which was like a street fight or something.
Yeah, and I just remember there was a move on top of a truck.
Before we go to our number 1 spot, honourable mention. So, for our honourable mentions, we have Mickie James, who entered the Royal Rumble. I don't know if it was the first Women's Royal Rumble.
I feel it was.
Yeah. And at the time, she had the Impact Championship.
I don't think it was the first one.
Oh, wasn't the first?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But she was. I feel like she might have been in the first one.
Yeah.
But the one where she actually came out and was recognised as the Impact Champion, I think was a later Rumble.
Okay.
Possibly, yeah.
Obviously that was a big shock because it's like, what the hell is this other championship? WWE don't usually acknowledge, other promotions, so that was cool. And then another surprise entrance was Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
Now I think in the first Rumble she came out at number 30.
Okay.
And had her moment in the ring with Mickie James, which was a callback to their feud.
Yes.
Which was really cool to
Yeah.
see.
And then at the end of the Rumble, but she wasn't in the Rumble, was the debut of Ronda Rousey.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yep.
That is right.
So
yes.
Asuka won the Rumble, very deserved, and then Ronda Rousey came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that set of Royal Rumbles was really cool when Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura won.
Yeah.
Sadly, neither of them went on to win at WrestleMania when they should have.
Oh, Asuka didn't win.
No, that was her defeat. Remember her first loss, or whatever it
that's
was. Right. Another maybe not so amazing, but also memorable mention was Nia Jax being in the men's
Australia's own
Yes,
Nia Jax.
and then getting RKO.
Yeah. Was there another woman in that Rumble? There was 2, wasn't there?
Maybe.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. And then maybe one for the women's match, and I called it. Was Santina Marella.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. He was in the first Women's Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, we're going to see Santina Marella. So that's so that's our honourable mentions.
Oh yeah, number one.
Now we move on to number one.
The surprise entrant had been out injured for a period of time. And then, but there was no mention at all of this person coming back. So usually you get an inkling that someone's going to come back, but no mention at all of this person coming back. And then I feel like it was the last entrant, possibly.
Yes,
and then, the music hit, and it was John Cena, and it was like amazing. I literally jumped off the couch.
Yeah. I think also what made that amazing was the setup that they had.
Yeah.
So remember the ramp was really narrow.
Okay.
It was behind the ring, so you could actually see people entering.
Yeah.
And then they had like the crowd was able to reach down to who was coming out, and so you had John Cena come out and he did his whole pose thing, and
that wasn't the car, was it? What was the car? Was that a WrestleMania thing or something?
No, I think the car was another Royal Rumble, but it wasn't that one.
Okay.
This one had a really narrow entrance with like LED lights on the side.
Crowd went off. I went off, jumped out of my seat.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Cena, but I don't love him, so I'm not like the world's biggest Cena fan. Like I said, I would have probably preferred Triple H to win, but
and I also I remember like Triple H being like what the fuck?
Yeah. No, it was a shock. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite one.